Hi there. Welcome back. I'm glad you came back again to read another story with me. My name is Momma Grace. I am here with Papa Joe, who is behind the camera, and Ella, who I don't know if you can see right now. She usually joins us when we read. And today we're going to read a really fun book called Eeny, Meeny, Miney, Mole. And it was written by someone named Jane Yolen. Now, this is a really fun book, and we've enjoyed it for many years, so I hope you enjoy it too. Do you have a drink? Do you like to bring a drink when we read? I do. I just do. A drink, a snack sometimes. Do you have your blanket? Maybe you're all cozied up on the couch. I like to kind of imagine how you like to get cozy and enjoy our reading times. So today I have some more hot tea. I bring this sometimes in the winter and really enjoy it. This is one of my favorites. It is a blackberry tea. Ella looks like she wants some tea. All right. So are you about ready? Now, are you familiar with moles? A mole is an animal that lives under the ground, burrows under the ground. They're digging animals. They can range from about 1.5 inches long, just very small, to up to 9 inches. That'd be a really big mole. I don't think most of them get that big, but that's the range in size. You'll see pictures in here. It's hard to tell because they put clothing on these moles, so it's not really accurate to what a little animal outside in the yard would look like. They have very, very small eyes. The eyes are kind of covered over with fur, sometimes even with skin, so they can't see very well. They can get an impression of dark and light, but they really can't see well at all. And so that's an interesting thing about moles. They are awake during the day and night, any old time. What else can I tell you about moles? Sorry. So, what else about moles? Moles are mammals. Do you know what the characteristics are of a mammal? Do you know? Can you tell me any? Anybody know? Okay, they have a backbone. What else? They have fur or skin.
Usually.
They breathe air. What else? Does anybody know another one? They have their babies live, as opposed to having eggs that hatch later, like birds or snakes or ducks. Instead, they have live babies, and they also nurse their babies, and they're able to give their babies milk. The females make milk, and they're able to feed the babies. So that's an interesting thing about mammals. All right, let's get on to our story. Are you ready? Okay, Eeny, Meeny, Miney, Mole. Here we go. If I can open the book. All right, here we go. There were once 3 sisters who lived at the bottom of a deep, dark hole. Their names were Eeny, Meeny, and Miney Mole. In that hole, dark was light, day was night, and summer and winter seemed the same. See, way up at the top of their hole, of their little burrow, there's a hole, and they can see the moon out there. Sometimes the sisters went to bed at dusk and rose at dawn. Sometimes they went to bed at dawn and rose at dusk. And sometimes they never went to bed at all. That will happen when dark is light and day is night and summer and winter seem the same. One time, when Eeny was out burrowing on the left side of the hole, she met a worm who told her the most astonishing thing. She hurried back to the hole, leaving a trail of dirt behind. I have just heard the most astonishing thing, she announced to her sisters. I have heard that up above, which is what they called the world on top of the ground, things are both dark and light. Nonsense, said Meeny. Silliness, said Miney. Don't trust passing worms, they said together. Then they went to bed and pulled the covers up over their heads because they didn't want to even think about light. These pages are very shiny, and I'm hoping you're able to see them. But Eeny could not sleep. She wandered around the hole thinking about light. She wondered if it was big or little, if it was round or long. She wondered if light spread from corner to corner up above like a blanket, or if it just touched in and out like the threads in the hem of a dress. She thought all these new and complicated thoughts for hour after hour. She was still thinking when her sisters got up. Another time, when Eeny went out burrowing on the right side of the hole, she met a centipede who told her the most astonishing thing. See the centipede? With all the legs. And there are little socks and shoes on every single little leg in this picture. She hurried back to the hole, leaving a trail of root snips behind. I have just heard the most astonishing thing, she announced to her sisters. I have heard that up above there is both day and night. Nonsense, said Meeny. Silliness, said Miney. Don't listen to addle-pated centipedes, they said together. Addle-pated is a very fancy word, and it means mixed up. Then they went to the kitchen and dipped their noses into their soup bowls and snuffed up tubers so they didn't have to think about day. Tubers are plants that grow under the ground, like potatoes and ginger root, and they made soup out of it. But Eeny could not eat. She wandered around the hole thinking about day. She wondered if day was short or tall, or if it was quiet or loud. She wondered if day was sharp like hunger or soft like sleep. She thought all these new and complicated thoughts for hour after hour. She was still thinking long after her sisters were full. The next time Eeny went out burrowing on the underside of the hole, she met a snake who told her the most astonishing thing. She hurried back to the hole, leaving a trail of bark behind. I have just heard the most astonishing thing, she announced to her sisters. I have heard that up above there is both summer and winter. Nonsense, said Meeny. Silliness, said Miney. Never ever even speak to snakes, they said together. Then they went into the living room and began to play checkers. Meeny with the red pieces and Miney with the black, so that they didn't have to think about summer and winter. But Eeny could not play. She wandered around the hole thinking about summer and winter. She wondered if they were low or high, if they were young or old. She wondered if they were damp and clumpy like the dirt on the underside of the hole, or dry and crumbly like the dirt near the top. She thought all these new and complicated thoughts for hour after hour. She was still thinking when Miney won the third game. The very next time Eeny went out, she didn't burrow to the right or to the left of the hole. She didn't burrow under or behind. She burrowed up and up, thinking astonishing and frightening thoughts until she broke through the crumbly top and right into up above. She stuck her nose into up above. She stuck her head into up above. She heaved her whole body into up above and walked around. Light did spread from corner to corner like a blanket above her, but it also touched in and out of tall trees like a thread. Day was sharp, but the shadows were soft, and she liked the way they curved around into night. There was a strange moistness to the air, a little like tears, that was sometimes warm and sometimes cold. She could not tell if it was winter or summer or something in between, but there was a murmur all around, of bees and trees, of showers and flowers, of tadpoles and tide pools and crinkly grass. The murmur turned into a name, Spring. Eeny smiled. Then she went back to her hole, digging down and down, leaving a trail of dirt and grass snips and bits of fresh bark behind. Day is nice, she said out loud, and light. I'm glad to have visited both. They're new and complicated. And someday I will meet summer and winter as well. She sighed and kept digging down and down, a bright yellow flower as sweet as a murmur clutched in one paw. But just wait till I tell my sisters about spring. And that's the end. Isn't that a nice book? Did you like that one? I think that's a nice book. It's fun because it has fancy words and because I can just imagine how exciting that would be to be a mole that could barely even see and had never, ever before come all the way out to the surface and walked around and enjoyed the sunshine and the springtime. But Eeny was adventurous enough that she got out and did just that. It's a fun book. Well, I'm glad you came and visited us today in our home, in our cozy little room by the fire. Now it's time to give Ella a little treat before we're done. Are you ready? Would you like a treat? Yeah, she's wagging her tail. Okay, come on. Good girl. Would you like a yellow treat? Oh, there she goes. She does love that. And it's fun to give it to her. All right. Well, thank you for coming today. And I hope you visit us again and listen to some more of our stories because we love to share them with you. So have a good day. We hope you're safe. And we will look forward to seeing you again next time. So goodbye, but just for now.